anyone shoot those thumbnails? Oh my god, books are so heavy. Hello and welcome or welcome back. My name is Nadia, and if you've clicked into today's video, you know that it's another haul video. I filmed a haul a couple weeks ago, but I have acquired more books since then because I've been sad, and when I'm sad, I buy things, and lately when I buy things, I buy books. So I have a nice big pile of books here that I'm quite excited about, and yeah, I want to share them all with you. The first three books I got from Kinokuniya in New York on a trip with my friend, and I'm pretty proud of myself for limiting myself to just these three books. I had a basket that was full of like, I think 6 or 7 books, and I edited it down at the end, and thankfully I only bought these 3 books because books are expensive. Yeah, so the first book I picked up was Daughter of the Moon Goddess, and I picked this up because I was really curious since it got so many mixed reviews on BookTube. Some people had this as their best of 2022 book, other people have had this as their worst of 2022 book, and I was really curious about this for myself. I've heard that this is, I believe it's an adult fantasy. I don't really know if it's an adult fantasy, but I've heard that it's an adult fantasy that reads like a YA. And I am halfway through this book now, so I have to say that I agree it does read like a YA, but I don't mean that in a negative way whatsoever. I'm really enjoying this book so far. In this book we have Princess Xingyin, who is the daughter of the moon goddess, and she has been living a hidden life on the moon. No one knows that she exists, and no one can know she exists, especially the Celestial Empire. But one day she unknowingly reaches for her power, and the Celestial Empire senses this spike in power and comes to the moon to investigate. So her mother then decides that Xingyin needs to leave the moon because the Celestial Empire can't know that she exists. So they send her away, and I believe the goal was to send her to the mortal realm? I'm not sure, I don't remember anymore. I started this book a while ago, but the goal is to send her away so that she can remain hidden from the Celestial Empire. But something goes wrong, and she actually lands in the Celestial Empire. So now she has to remain hidden while she's there. So she assumes a fake identity, tells everyone that her family is dead. But her ultimate goal is to make it back to her mother, of course, and to free her mother from her prison on the moon. So we follow her on her journey as she makes her way up through the ranks in the kingdom. And I believe she's going to eventually challenge the kingdom. To save her mother, Xingyin embarks on a perilous quest, confronting legendary creatures and vicious enemies across the earth and skies. However, when treachery looms and forbidden magic threatens the kingdom, she must challenge the ruthless Celestial Empire emperor for her dream, striking a dangerous bargain in which she is torn between losing all she loves and plunging the realm into chaos. So yeah, that sounds pretty interesting to me. I am having a fun time with this book so far. Unfortunately, it's not a standalone, it is a duology, so I already know that I want to know what happens next, so I have a Barnes & Noble cart with the sequel in it, and it's $27.99 because it's a Barnes & Noble special edition, and I want the special edition because I like pretty books, and yeah, books are a gateway drug. They lead to more books. Don't buy books. No, I'm kidding. Always buy books. The second book I have is Glitterland by Alexis Hall, and I bought this because I want to read all of Alexis Hall's books. I read Boyfriend Material and Husband Material. I really enjoyed Boyfriend Material. Husband Material was kind of I don't quite know why that book needed to exist, but I sort of enjoyed it. But Boyfriend Material was great, and I've read a sample of Lady for a Duke, and I know that I want to read something fabulous. He has quite a mix of, well, they're all romance books, but they're across different genres. Like, so you have books set in present day, and I know something fabulous I believe is a Regency romance. But yeah, I'm interested in reading all of his books, and this book just happened to be the one that I saw in the wild that day, so I picked it up. And this book is about a down-on-his-luck English writer named Ash Winters, who is suffering from a pretty severe mental illness, and he's not really functioning very well at all. And one day he meets someone named Darian Winters, and I believe, is it Darian Winters? No, it's Ash Winters and Darian Taylor. Yeah. So he meets a guy named Darian Taylor, and this book is obviously about their romance, but I'm interested to read this because I want to see how the mental illness part of it is handled. I know it's going to be a heavier read. I read like the first couple pages and I put it down because I'm not really in the mood for something very heavy right now, even though I know that it's a romance and it will probably end up being, well, not probably, it will end up being a happily ever after. But yeah, I hopefully will pick this up soon. I really love Alexis Hall's writing, and yeah, I'm excited that I picked this up. The third book I have is Lonely Castle in the Mirror by Mizuki Sujimura, and I've been curious about this book, but when I saw this edition, this beautiful hardcover edition, I couldn't leave it behind. I think it's gorgeous. I've been curious about this book for a while because I've heard that it has a found family aspect to it, and I will, like I've said before in previous videos, I will read anything with a found family aspect to it. It's my favorite trope. It's my favorite thing. And I am curious about this book because it sounds like it's going to read like a fairy tale. We have our main character, Kokoro, who is bullied a lot in school, and one day her mirror glows, and when she reaches through it, she is transported to a castle along with 6 other students and a girl in a wolf mask. And I believe they have to perform tasks in order to gain access to a wish. But yeah, I'm very curious about this book. I hope I like it as much as everyone else has liked it. It's gotten good reviews on BookTube, and I'm into portal fantasy, so yeah, hopefully this will be a good one. The next 3 books I got from Waterstones, and I ordered these because I was more into the UK edition covers. I wanted to read these books, but I was more into the UK edition covers than I was the US edition covers. The first one is 6 Crimson Cranes and its sequel, The Dragon's Promise by Elizabeth Lim. I read a sample of 6 Crimson Cranes on my Kindle and I was completely into it, so I wanted to order the book. I didn't want to just get the ebook, but I knew that, you know, since it's not a standalone, I would want to read the sequel, so I got the sequel at the same time, and the UK covers are just gorgeous. I'm upset that this is the paperback and that, you know, they don't match because one's a hardback and one's a paperback, but I really wanted this artwork because it's absolutely stunning. I don't know if you can tell, but there's some gold foiling with the petals that are floating around her. But yeah, they're gorgeous. It's a cover read, but not quite a cover read. I don't know. But this is about Princess Shiori, and she has magic in a kingdom where magic, I believe, is forbidden, and she gets found out by her stepmother, I guess, who is an evil stepmother, and she exiles Princess Shiori from the kingdom and transforms all 6 of her brothers into cranes, hence the 6 Crimson Cranes. But she also, her stepmother makes it so that she cannot talk about her brothers. Every time she talks about her brothers, one of them will die. So she has to team up with someone and work her way through the kingdom to find her brothers, and I believe she also uncovers a conspiracy for the kingdom, because of course she does. So yeah, we follow her on her adventure to save her brothers and to save the kingdom, and I think I'm really going to enjoy these. I don't know if I said they're YA, but I love me a YA fantasy, and I think I will really enjoy these. And the second, well, it's the third book, but since the other 2 are part of a series, I guess I count them as one, but the next book I got is The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axie O, and this cover is gorgeous. I love the color. The artwork is just, it's beautiful. I decided to pick this book up because I have heard people refer to it as a cozy fantasy, and I will read anything that's cozy right now. I am in my cozy fantasy era, and the cover really caught my eye, and this is about a village where they sacrifice a girl every year or every few years to the sea god in order to ensure like a good harvest, ensure that they don't, you know, starve to death. And this year, the year that this book takes place, the girl that is going to be sacrificed is the main character's brother's beloved. So instead of waiting for her to be sacrificed, our main character jumps into the sea herself to see what's going on. And she lands at the bottom of the sea and finds out that the sea god has actually been asleep this whole time. So maybe they've been sacrificing all these girls for absolutely no reason. I am very curious as to what happens after she figures out the sea god has been asleep. So I am looking forward to reading about her adventures, but I've heard that the world building in this book is really, really good. I've also heard that it might be all vibes, no plot, but I am kind of here for that right now, so I am excited to read this. I'm excited to own this because it's so gorgeous. But yeah, it says on the back, don't chase fate, let fate chase you. Interesting. I would think that she did chase fate by taking control and jumping into the ocean, but let's see why that applies to our main character. The next book I got, this was a pre-order. I ordered this at the beginning of the year because it's one of my most anticipated reads for 2023, and this is The Adventures of Amina El-Sirafi by Shannon Chakraborty. I'm sure you've seen this all over BookTube. It's been everywhere. Everyone has it. Everyone is talking about it. Everyone wants to read it. This is about Amina El-Sirafi, a retired pirate, and she gets to go on one last adventure when one of her colleagues' daughters gets kidnapped. So she is asked to go on an adventure to save this daughter. So she gathers the team again, and it's kind of a gathering the team back together, going on one last final adventure for one last treasure situation. And I think that sounds really, really great because we have an older heroine and we don't really get older female characters in books, so I am excited to read this. I've read a couple of pages, and it looks like this story is told from the viewpoint. It's Amina El-Sirafi kind of dictating her story to an interviewer named Jamal. So I am looking forward to seeing how that is integrated throughout the story. I saw a reading blog of someone reading this, which I wish I hadn't, but apparently she makes asides to Jamal and all that stuff, so I'm curious about this book. I'm very excited to read it, and this cover is really cool. I was waffling between getting this version and getting the Waterstone Special Edition. I wouldn't say I made a mistake. I like this cover, but there was some confusion with me ordering from Barnes & Noble because they had a signed special edition and they had this exclusive edition. And I didn't really want to pay extra for the signed edition. I didn't really care that it was signed. But the exclusive edition was also described as having colorful end papers, but as you can see, this does not have colorful end papers. So but it does have an exclusive chapter at the end. It's a little prequel story. I don't really know what it's about, but yeah, I figured it was worth it, so I got the exclusive edition. I kind of wish I had gotten the signed edition now, but either way, I have it. I'm excited to read it. Yeah. The next order is another 3 books, and this was also from Barnes & Noble. First up, we have Half a Soul, and again, I ordered this because everybody keeps saying it is a cozy romance, cozy fantasy, and once again, I'm really into cozy fantasy right now. This is about Theodora Eddings, and she has half a soul because when she was a kid, fairies took away half her soul, and the way that manifests is that she has certain emotional incapabilities. She has no sense of fear or embarrassment, so you can tell how socially awkward that may be, but she is headed out with her cousin, I believe, who wants to debut and find a husband, and she doesn't really want to bring any attention to herself, but she catches the eye of the Lord Sorcier, who is pretty curious about her case of having half a soul. So we go from there on their adventures to figure out what's going on with her life. It says Dora hopes to be a quiet, sensible wallflower during the London season, but when Elias Wilder, the handsome, peculiar, and utterly ill-mannered Lord Sorcier, discovers her condition, she is instead drawn into dangerous fairy affairs. So that sounds pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to reading this. I'm hoping it's as cozy as everyone says it is, and yeah. The next 2 books are Legendborn and the sequel Bloodmarked. I don't really know. I have watched everyone talk about these books so much, but the description of it all has left my head because my brain is like a sieve. It's Swiss cheese. I don't remember anything really. But I read a sample of this on my Kindle, and again, I figured I liked it a lot and I didn't want to just have the ebook, so I just went ahead and ordered the book and its sequel because I didn't want to be without the sequel since it's, so far it is a duology. I think it's a trilogy. Another book is coming out in it, but we have our main character in this book whose name is Bree Matthews, and she loses her mother at the beginning of this book, and I believe she enrolls in college, and while she's there, she sees a supernatural something or other that she's not supposed to see. And it turns out that there is a secret society that is somehow linked to the legend of King Arthur, and she's not supposed to have seen what she saw, but since she did, she might technically be a part of this secret society somehow, because I believe they try to erase her memory and it doesn't get erased. So yeah, it seems like it'll be really interesting. I like retellings of King Arthur. I like stuff that has King Arthur. Oh gosh, did I already? Looks like I think my cat got to this book. It's got a scratch on the cover. Awesome. I want to tear. Yay! Love it. Love this for me. Don't let your cat near your books. But yeah, I don't know what I was saying. I am excited for this book. I hope it's as good as everyone says it is. One of my favorite booktubers, Carrie Can Read, has been raving about this book, so I'm excited to get into it. They're quite chonky. The first one isn't as chonky, but the second one is chonkier. Yeah, it's yeah. The next book I got from my local bookstore. It is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, and I got this because everybody and their mother has been raving about it for years, and I have FOMO because Hellbent came out this year, and I kind of wanted to read this. I almost bought the, well, it's sold out, so I can't say almost, I missed it, the Illumicrate special editions that had both Ninth House and Hellbent in a bundle. But I'm sort of glad that I didn't end up buying that because I've read, I'm 45 pages into this book, and I put it down like a while ago because the narration is it's quite confusing to me. I will push through because, again, FOMO, but I really want to know what everyone sees in this book. I was a pretty big fan of the Shadow and Bone trilogy, so I'd be pretty disappointed if I don't enjoy this because I do enjoy Leigh Bardugo's writing, and this was her adult debut. And yeah, we have Alex Stern, who is involved in monitoring the secret societies at Yale University, and we follow her as she does that. Somehow, once again, even though everyone and their mother knows about this book, I have managed to not remember anything about it, really. All I know is that she's monitoring some secret societies at Yale, and stuff happens. I know she can see ghosts, and that's supposed to be like something different. Other people or her mentor can't really see ghosts, so that's supposed to be something that's out of the ordinary for her. And occult activities, shenanigans, stuff, I don't know. I have it. I don't know if I will finish reading it. I hope I finish reading it. Yeah, the book that FOMO made me buy. The last order I put in, these are so heavy, is from Barnes & Noble, because they had a buy one get one half off deal on manga, and I also had some credit card points, and I have been wanting to collect the Eternal editions of the Sailor Moon manga, and I don't think I can make it come across on camera. There, a little bit. The covers are holographic, and they feature new art by Naoko Takeuchi, and it says on the back that it's the new definitive edition of the classic manga, and I kind of fell into the hype. It's beautiful, and eventually I want to own the entire series. The series is very nostalgic for me. It's part of my childhood. I really love Sailor Moon. I love Naoko Takeuchi's art, and yeah, I couldn't help myself. I saw the shiny thing. I bought the shiny thing. I am reading the shiny thing, so that's good. But yeah, 4 volumes, very heavy, very gorgeous. We have, Sailor Mercury on the 2nd volume. We have Sailor Mars on the 3rd volume. This is my favorite one, I think, so far. It's gorgeous, but I'm a big Sailor Mars fan. And then we have Sailor Jupiter on the 4th volume. Yeah, I don't know when I will be able to buy more of these, but I'm slowly gonna, I think there's 12 volumes, and I'm slowly gonna make my way through so that I have all of them, because I just want to own all of them. I'm an adult with adult money, and I want to own things that I love, and I love Sailor Moon because it's nostalgic for me, so it's a shiny thing. I see shiny thing, I buy shiny thing. And yeah, with that is this haul complete. It's not that big of a haul, but it's a pretty big haul for me. I am excited to own all these books. I am, aside from ordering, because I probably will order the sequel to The Daughter of the Moon Goddess, because I can't help myself. I am trying not to order any more books. I do have, you know, the pre-orders that I made in January for the few books that I was interested in for 2023, but those don't count. They don't count. Just keep lying to myself. But yeah, I have enough books to tide me over for quite a while, and hopefully I won't be making any more impulse purchases on books, but you never know. Yeah, so that was my haul. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you again in the next video. Bye!